Yo, 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 what's going on, Sooner fans? This is your host, Jay Hall, formerly number 27 on the field, but always number one in your hearts. Here with me today, you know who it is, my right-hand man, number 9 on the field, our captain, the Brayden Weight Room Willie Willis. And this is the podcast on the prairie. B. Willie.
Jay.
I'm feeling good this morning, my boy. No blanket. I got my hat on. Oh,
hold on now.
I didn't shave, so that's really. Let me be honest real quick, bro. A lot of people always are talking about my hats and everything I got going on. It's because half the time I always forget to shave before I get on the podcast, and so I got to use the hat to cover up the shadow. You know,
Quick fix.
Yeah, that shadow makes me go from 24 to 38 with 3 kids real quick. So the cap is a cover up.
There you go.
From the real.
Quick fix.
Yeah. So feeling good this morning though, man. Last week for our Thanksgiving special, you know, I was sick, wasn't feeling good. Come to find out, actually, Kaylee, Joe John's wife, she was sick after the Bedlam game as well. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but my boo thing, she got sick too. And I initially I blamed it on her. I was like, you know, we have our first kiss and everything, and of course after the first kiss I get sick, and it's just we're off to a bad start, you know. I told her, I said, look, the kiss was great, but like if this is like a sign of our future, then we might as well call it quits now.
Sickening.
She didn't take that very well. Yeah.
I bet she didn't.
Hey, bro, I pay attention to stuff like that. Like signs, like I'm a big like, oh, it just wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to. Matter of fact,
I am too. No doubt. No doubt.
Matter of fact, bro, I got another story to tell you. I'll hold off on that for just 1 second, but let me ask you about your Thanksgiving. I know it was quick, but how was the drive down to Denton and back to Norman for the day? Before you get too far into the pod, this episode is presented by Plainview Legal Group. We all know Braden is the king of nicknames, right? There's Weight Room Willie, QB Willie, 100-yard Willie, and many more.
Jay, I love all those nicknames, but you know who else deserves different nicknames for all they do? Plainview Legal Group. Plainview Legal Group focuses primarily on property law and business matters, including eminent domain, inverse condemnation, real estate transactions, oil and gas title examination, adverse possession, quiet title, and other boundary disputes.
Plainview Legal Group also handles estate planning and probate, from simple wills to proving undue influence. Additionally, their attorneys negotiate, draft, review, and litigate all kinds of commercial contracts for individuals and businesses across various industries throughout Oklahoma.
Plainview Legal Group is a Norman-based law firm owned and operated by 2 OU grads, husband and wife duo, Travis and Haley Dennis. Haley has even taught a real estate transactions class at OU College of Law in Norman.
To schedule your free consultation, visit their website at www.plainviewlegal.com. Give them a call at 405-310-0183 or email them at info@plainviewlegal.com.
Please see show notes for important disclaimer information. Yeah, it was a quick Thanksgiving, but I'm like extremely happy that and grateful that I was able to go. This first Thanksgiving and I mean, years that I got to experience with my family. And like I told you, it was going to be a surprise. So thank you, Alex, for not airing it too early, because I didn't want my granny to be riding down to the Thanksgiving meal and be like, oh, and they go text the group message and be like, oh, Braden's coming, and ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see my cousin. She left a little early, but she cooked it, and boy, she threw down. Woo! Ooh, she threw down.
I don't expect anything less from your household.
Oh, man. She threw down. Both of my cousins cooked. So really, none of the aunties, mama, granny, none of them really did anything except for my cousins. But they threw down, boy.
Yeah.
So I've been, eating on them Thanksgiving leftovers.
You take some leftovers home?
Oh, you know I did. Come
Yeah.
on now. You know I did. And they were hooking me up, man. I got the hookup. I still got food to this day. But
This is honestly, bro, this is probably like the last day you can be eating Thanksgiving leftovers.
yeah, to be fair.
Maybe tomorrow if you're pushing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean,
those,
I've already almost ate all of them, so it's like,
yeah. For those listening, like we're recording on Monday. We didn't get a chance to do our normal Sunday.
yeah. I mean, I ate, that's what I ate yesterday. I didn't get a chance to eat it, obviously, Friday or Saturday, so that sucks because it kind of had to sit in the fridge. It's just a little marinade.
Yeah.
You can let the juices soak, as our people say. Yeah.
Yeah, let the mac and cheese get a little better.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like Thanksgiving food, bro. It's like spaghetti. It's good when you initially make it, but it's even better the more time passes by.
It hits for leftovers. But other than the food, man, it was good to go back home and surprise the fam. When I walked in the door, I only told the only person that knew I was coming was my mom, because OU football sent out a thing with our schedules and kind of exposed me. And my mom was like, "Hey, like you got time? They said y'all can come home if it's within 3 hours. So are you coming home?" And I was like, "No, we're busy. We got football and stuff." And she's like, "But the schedule said," and I was like, "All right, yeah, Mom,
hey, that are you coming home is like voluntary workouts. It's like,
no doubt.
you better be are you coming home? Like, when are you coming home?
So I was like, yeah, Mom, I'm coming home. I was trying to surprise you, but I guess OU football ruined that for me. Yeah. So my mother knew, and my father knew as well, because I asked him where Thanksgiving was going to be, but I know he doesn't spoil the beans. So, but other than that, no one else knew, not even my sister. Walked in the door, and people looked like they saw a ghost. They're like, and then they're like, "Oh," and then I walked around the corner, I gave some hugs, and then walked around the corner to everybody, and then they all just started screaming and yelling and being extra. But
that's nice.
My family, so I love them being extra, and then got to see everybody, hugs, and take pictures. Took plenty of pictures. Y'all know I'm not a picture guy, but
I saw you with the baby. That was
my baby
kid was that?
It's my older cousin's baby. Yeah.
Okay. That was a cute picture.
I'm really good with kids. Don't know what it is. I'm good with kids and dogs.
Kids and dogs.
Just take a liking to me. I don't know why.
That'll come in handy when you get married one day, bro.
It will. Every baby that I've ever have encountered loves me, and I have no idea why.
I'm not a baby person. I can't. I think we talked about that one time. Me and KB went to a restaurant, and I had to take a picture with the baby. And yeah, don't trust me with. I'm good with toddlers and up, bro. Like from 2 to like 10, I'm on it. Like,
yeah. So give Jay Hall your toddlers, because I don't want to deal with the little munchkins when they get attitude, and give me the babies, because I'm cool with the babies.
That's cool, bro. I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. I had a smooth Thanksgiving. It was me, my sister, grandparents on my mom's side, obviously my mom and her brother. So the 6 of us, small Thanksgiving, traveled around Charlotte to see my dad's side of the family. Mm-hmm. And it was a good time. I was able for the first time in a long time to hold hands with my family. And now, this may not sound like a big deal, but I said grace this year at Thanksgiving, which is typically something that my grandpa does. And yeah. So he's a ordained pastor, and yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh man, the big shoes to fill.
Yeah. So for me to have that opportunity and share that moment with my family, I didn't make it long. I know some of y'all.
Can't make it long.
Yeah, no, hands start getting clammy. You're like, okay, I can smell the food. Let's go.
Everybody's hungry,
Yeah.
It just, you can't make it long.
Right. So I made it quick, short, brief, and did my thing. So I felt proud, man. It felt like I was handed down a torch.
No doubt. Yeah. Like, once you start praying in the family, you've taken that next step of what manhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I was doing good when my grandpa was like, mid prayer, he was like, "Yes, Lord,
yes, Lord."
I was like, Yeah.
Once you start getting the comments, you know you're doing good. Yes, Lord. Yes.
Oh my gosh. So that made me feel so proud. And
Oh man.
that moment right there pretty much sums up my Thanksgiving. Um so
I'm proud of you.
appreciate you, bro. So you have Thanksgiving and then you just head on back up to Norman and things are normal per usual.
Yeah, just I got down there, left Norman around maybe 2. Got out of practice a little bit later. Coach Venables was talking at the beginning of practice, so we got out a little bit later, and then I got home, packed my dog's stuff, and got my stuff changed, and then I left out of here. Left around 2, got there around. Well, probably left here around like 2:15, 2:20, but got there around 4:30 ish. They had just ate. They were supposed to eat a couple hours before, but
the team had just ate.
Yeah, the family just ate.
Okay.
Family had just ate, so I was a little bit late. But I told my mom, I was like, I don't know what time I'm gonna get there. It just kind of depends on when we get out and all that stuff. So y'all don't try to wait on me or nothing like that because it was a surprise.
Yeah.
So I got there around 4:30, and I stayed probably until it's around 7:30. That's when everybody started heading out, and I stayed until my mom decided she was ready to, hit the road. And when she left, her and my sister left, I left with them, and at that point we were the last ones there. So I got to see all my family, spend some good time with them, watch the Cowboys game. It was hectic, everybody in my family are big.
I was rooting for the Giants on that one.
Were you?
Yeah, honestly, bro, somebody asked me this the other day. They were like, how do you feel about the Giants? And although I was cut, I have no animosity towards them. Right. I love Dayball. I think that he deserves Coach of the Year. And I knew it when I thought he was a great coach while I was there. I loved him. He always came over and encouraged me. He was like, he'd always be like, we need a fullback. Come on. We need a fullback. And he made me feel really good about my time in New York. Now, granted, I didn't get a lot of opportunities. I didn't get as much as I wanted. But I totally all respect towards the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. And here, matter of fact, here's a way that I can describe it, right? You know how there's sorry, clear my throat. You know how there's the players and then there's the coaches, or no. There's the players and then there's the GAs. The GAs are the connection to the coaches, and then there's the GAs and there's the coaches. Well, when you get to the NFL, bro, there's another layer. There's really no more GAs, but it's more so player to coach and then coach to the GM and everybody above the coaches. And so although the players, they do whatever the coaches say, the coaches have to respect the decisions of the GMs and the owners and everybody above them. So it's you're still on the same team, right, in a sense. And so whatever decisions the coaches make, you really can't take it personal because sometimes it's not in their control. So that's why I don't feel any hatred towards the Giants. I was still rooting them on. I know everybody on the squad. I'm sitting there yeah, good tackle, Hottie, and that type of deal. But right. I was rooting for the Giants. I was kind of upset that they got beat, which is probably not going to go down well with Sooner Nation because you're going to learn, bro. Whenever you get on a squad in the NFL, all the Cowboys fans and all the America's team are going to be yeah, good luck with the Eagles or whatever, but I'm a Cowboys fan. Bro, I don't care you're a Cowboys fan. F the Cowboys. Giants. I got a little bit of blind loyalty towards the Giants now, to be honest.
Understood.
Yeah. But bro, my bad. Did you have any more to say? I kind of just started talking and
no, just I left around 7:30, quick little 2-hour ride home. Got back around 9, and just chilled the rest of the day after that. So
I'm cracking myself up this morning. I'm if y'all can't tell, I'm taking up as much time as possible before we start talking about this game. Alex, B. Willie, I got one more story to tell. Matter of fact, this has nothing to do with Thanksgiving or the game. I just feel like I'm going to share this, okay? It's actually pretty funny, all right? I'm going to tell you the ending first, and then I'm going to tell you the story, okay? The ending is I had to chase the cop barefoot down the road. B. Willie, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was a baller in basketball, all right?
yeah, I mean, I played all types of sports. Okay, I was the athlete. All right, but a lot of people will agree that when I was younger, baseball was probably my best sport. So
okay, baseball, basketball, football, that's pretty cool. At Anon Sports, they're offering incredible youth sports opportunities for kids throughout the state of Oklahoma. They offer basketball, volleyball, baseball, soccer, and flag football.
Ages vary from 3 to 14 years old, depending on the sport. And I-9 is all about convenience for families. Practices and games are on the same day, so it's a one-day-a-week commitment. Practice first, then gameplay.
Leagues last 7 weeks, and they have locations in the Edmond, OKC area, Yukon, Moore, and Norman. We have a special offer for our listeners. When you use the code PrairiePod at checkout, you get $10 off your registration.
We know a lot of our listeners are parents, so check out I9 Sports at i9sports.com to see if there is a league right for them and you.
All right, now here's the story. Now that I got your attention, right? Okay, so I'm gonna keep it brief just for the sake of time. But this past Saturday, I had to take my dog to PetSmart. I had to take my beautiful German Shepherd to PetSmart to get groomed. So take him, come back home. I pick him up, and when we get home, he jumps out the car, which is abnormal because, he doesn't jump out the car. I open the door. He takes off running out the car, which he normally doesn't do, but he had to go pee. And so he went off to the woods to go pee, literally right across the street from my house, and which was fine. He'll normally come back, but he saw a squirrel, right? So this kid took off running. I had to go chase him, and then I get him, put the leash on him. I'm like, Max, like, what are you doing? I yell at him like he understands English, which actually he's pretty smart. He does understand some words that I'm talking about. But anyways, we come back inside the house, right? 2 hours later, I'm like, bye, Mom. I'm going to go work out at my dad's house. And I can't find my keys. So I'm like, where? What? Like, how? I literally just got home. And so my mom and I spent 2 hours outside, inside the house, squandering like everywhere to find these keys. We can't find them. So we eventually come to the conclusion that somebody, or I dropped the keys is what I said. And then I said, somebody must have came along, picked up the keys, and I guess just has the keys. And so here's the thing. There are 2 set of car keys on that key set, right? On that keychain. My mom's old car's outside. My mom's brand new 2020 Hyundai or 2023, whatever. Yes, 2023 is in the garage. Now, she wasn't worried about the beater. She was worried about her car. So she didn't want to have somebody come and steal her car, right? So, Saturday night comes and goes. We set up a security camera outside to make sure nobody steals the car. And then Sunday morning comes, the car's still outside. And we're like, I guess we just can't find the keys. I'm looking for a locksmith. We're planning on getting a new set of keys. And I'm telling Mom, I'm sorry. So we're sitting there. We didn't go to church on Sunday. We just so happened to stay home. We watched church from the living room. And after we're done praying, we hear a beep, beep. And we're like, what? And so I literally went outside, bro. I'm ready to fight somebody. I'm like, who's pressing my mama's keys? Like, I'm about to whoop some, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went from, nice J Hall to mean J Hall quick. And so I don't see anybody outside. I come back inside, and then we hear it again, clear this time. Like, at first, it was kind of faint. But this time we're like, oh, somebody's definitely pressing the key button. Like, you know how when you lock a car, it does it beep, beep. Yeah. So I go outside looking for the smoke, bro. Looking for the smoke, like adrenaline pumping and everything. I just so happened to see a cop car drive by. I'm like, and now this is way down the street. I'm like, this is no coincidence. So my mom comes outside in her bedroom slippers. I have on no shoes, shorts, and a hoodie. I chase the car down the street, waving, no shoes on. I'm looking busted. He pulls up on the curb, passenger window, rolls it down. He thinks I'm in trouble. I'm like, sir, do you have a set of keys? And he's like, these keys? And I'm like, oh my God. So I tell him the whole story. He comes down, talks to me and my mom. Bro, apparently somebody came, picked up the keys, put them 2 doors down at my neighbor's house. She called the cops and gave the cop the set of keys. And I was just in awe. Like, I was just like, bro, like, God is real. And the thing was, bro, normally he would turn them into evidence, but he said that sometimes takes too long. And so he was going to spend the next 30 minutes pressing the key button, trying to see if he can figure out which car it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I figured that's what it was when, I could kind of see the story coming together. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool of him.
I know that has nothing to do with Thanksgiving or anything, but actually, no, it actually does. This is the season of being grateful and giving. And that cop did something that he isn't paid to do. Well, actually, I guess he's paid to protect the community, but you get what I'm saying. He didn't have to do that. And so, long story short, I'm grateful that it happened, and all is well. I don't have to dish out $800 now for 2 sets of keys and a locksmith.
No doubt.
Because that was going to run me some money. But B. Willie, moving on to what we get paid a little bit of money to do is talk about some ball, my boy. So, I don't even know where to start in this game. I knew it was going to be an emotional roller coaster within the first 45 seconds of the game. There's a 60-yard kickoff return and then a fumble less than 2 minutes later, real time. And I'm like, bro,
not even 2 minutes, like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I'm like, if this is the type of night it's going to be, like, whoa.
Yeah.
All right. But y'all, like everybody said, y'all came out swinging. Y'all came out, playing good. I don't have a bullfrog breakdown or anything. This is just, talking about the game. But where did you feel like, I guess, things went wrong, or what was your take on the game? From your perspective, the beginning.
The beginning of the game.
Yeah.
The beginning of the game, we, like you said, we came out strong. We came out swinging. Other than the 60-yard kickoff return that they had, that happened super fast. I was on the bench, and I was talking to Joe John, and all I hear is the crowd, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And you look up, and then they're running down the sideline.
Yeah, you're like, "That's not good."
Oh man! But other than that, then they got the fumble. And so we knew that we're going to have to put the drives together, kind of respond to kind of kill that atmosphere, because it was kind of buzzing, and we put together a good drive, and, we started we were converting early on in the games on our third downs pretty well. So, we converted and we ended up scoring, and, defense started off real strong as well. They were holding them. That was a pretty efficient offense that we were going against, the most passing yards in the Big 12, and they put up a good amount of points this season. So they were a capable offense. And, we kept on following those, those turnovers, or, those drives where defense was holding them, 3 points, and then turnovers, we were converting them into points. And then we had a little bit of a lull on both sides of the ball, and we stopped scoring as much. I mean, we probably could have put up 40 points at half. And then obviously, defense, had a little bit of a lull, but, that's football, and it happens sometimes. Like I say all year long, it's not ideal, but this team has, like you said earlier in the season, this is a team of other scholarship players. They have coaches that are getting paid, that want to win. They have the same record as us. They're going to make adjustments. They're going to try other stuff. And
yeah, I feel like they made some good adjustments. Like
they did,
y'all
especially on
were
the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. The defense was really killing them. And I felt like starting out, at least, you guys had the better game plan,
right?
And then their offense starts hitting the hole shots, like they start ripping the zone apart. Like zone was doing good, matching up was doing good, D line was getting to them, and then they just start switching things up.
Yeah, it was weird because they switched up what they were doing like 3 different times in the game. So I have to give some props to, their coaching staff on offense, because at first they're trying to take shots. That's what they normally do. Right. Then, like you said, they saw that we were, trying to zone them and, drop 8. And so then they started trying to tear that zone apart. And then later on in the game, if you paid attention, they started doing a lot of touch game and a lot of runs.
Draws, a lot of option stuff.
QB draws, QB powers, and counters, like you said, and a lot of different stuff. So they changed the game plan at numerous different times. And when you're on defense and stuff is working, and then they change something up, then you got to adjust again. Then they change it again. It's just hard to adjust to. So
I will say
they did a good job.
Brayden, you said you love eating, right? How stuffed were you after Thanksgiving dinner?
Jay, I haven't been home in years. I went home in the first go around. I think I had 3 plates, man. I was stuffed.
Hey, brother, you could tell I'm not an athlete no more. I was good after 1 plate.
Thanksgiving is over, and with all the good food that we enjoyed, many of us are feeling a little stuffed. And if you're feeling stuffed in your house, maybe it's time to find a different one that better fits your needs. Turn to Web Property Group to help you find the perfect new house.
At Web Properties Group, Phil and Thelene Webb and their team are ready to help. Start your home search now by calling 405-322-5632. And if you haven't talked to the lender about a mortgage, call the most experienced lending turkey in town, Matt McDaniel with the McDaniel Mortgage Group at 214-435-1988, or visit the online application at www.appwithmatt.com.
The McDaniel Mortgage Group and Web Properties Group will make your home buying experience easy as pie. So get started today.
I think that a lot of times fans get so caught up in the production of the individual players. Like for example, like Danny had a very quiet 18 tackle game. Right. If I'm pretty sure, and any other night we'd be like, oh, Danny had 18 tackles, like we would praise that, almost 20 tackles, especially if the Sooners come out with a win,
No doubt.
But Sooner Nation, you must remember that there's a coaching aspect to the game. It's not just player v player. Braden can go out there and ball out. But if we're running, for example, read option versus a 2 outside blitz, or speed option, that you it doesn't matter if you have Jay Hurts or Kyler Murray out there, it's going to be a hard play. And it's just, that's the same thing on defense. And so I'm not pointing any fingers or anything like that, but there's multiple aspects to this game, and a perfect example is Sooners come out fast. We're out there making plays. Speaking of making plays, let's just take a moment to say all hail Marvin Mims and his spectacular,
marvelous,
and his puppies, his hands, golden, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. We got to come up with some type of nickname for that kid.
I don't know.
Marvin's marvelous mitts.
There you go.
Yeah, you like that? You like that?
I like
that. Great performance by the wide receivers. I wish I could talk to Jaleel one-on-one and and just watch film with him and tell him like, bro, like there were a couple of things that he could have done better to have an even better game. But he's growing and he's learning.
Mm-hmm.
One of the interceptions y'all had, I'm specifically talking about the offense because offense is what I know. But I think the pass to Drake that was intercepted on the out route.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel the guy on your inside hip a little bit, you gotta either bat that ball down, especially if it's thrown behind you, or you gotta come back to the ball a little bit more. You know what I'm talking about on the
Yeah.
when you break out,
Mm-hmm.
ball's kind of behind you and defender's right there.
Right.
One of those interceptions could have been prevented. Great play by Texas Tech though. But game comes down to the wire. Couple plays here, a couple of plays there. Great adjustments by Texas Tech. Let's talk about overtime.
Yeah.
What was the mindset on the first play, the trick play?
I guess it was go big or go home, try to score, reverse pass to the crib, see if it works. Obviously, it wasn't, it didn't work as well as, I guess we got a first down off of it, I think. Not
Yeah,
too
no,
sure.
he caught the ball. He held
Yeah,
on
he
to
got
that
it.
thing.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if I think we got the first down, I'm pretty sure. But, obviously he took a shot for it. So then after that, I had to come in and run a little wildcat until he was feeling like he was up to it, but he obviously has to sit a play after that.
Yeah.
He came back in.
When I saw him go down, I was like, put B. Willie back there.
Yeah, we saw him get up and he was like, it wasn't his head. It was just more of like air got knocked out of him type of thing,
Yeah.
So we saw him get back up and we are just like, okay, we just need a play to kind of buy time, get a couple yards, right? So we ran that. Then second play, we had another play on. We had a pretty good play on, but then I was looking at the defense looking. I was like, this is not going to really, it's not going to really work. And so we had we checked it to a run play that we've been running all night. We've been gashing them on it. And we had a little miscommunication up front. Some guys were bucking, the wrong stuff, and then so that hurt us. Tackle for loss,
Mm-hmm.
and then we end up having to kick a field goal. And then, obviously everybody had, saw that. I'm gonna go out and say I was on the field. I was in the middle of the field at that. I saw it go through the uprights. Had about a foot of room to spare. I was going to go celebrate with Zach, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a bunch of this, no good. And so I looked back, and the rest were doing it. And I look at Zach, and I look at everybody else, and all of our jaws just dropped. Like, there's no way. And I was so distraught. I think someone had pointed it out on the field that I was still on the field. I had took my helmet off, everything. I'm glad I didn't get a penalty for this. I took my helmet off and everything. I was trying to plead with the ref, like, y'all gotta talk about this. Like, you're the center judge. You literally you had to see it go in. I saw it go in. Like, you gotta talk to them. And, they weren't trying to hear it from me. And then obviously we can't review field goals that are over the top of the uprights. And it's just.
Is that the rule, over the top of the upright?
Yeah, apparently this is what Casey told me, my roommate, long snapper, that I guess field goals can't be reviewed if they're over the top of the uprights, which makes no sense to me, because why would you want to review a kick that went through or didn't go through the uprights? Like, how can you review that? Like, it either went in or it didn't. Right.
Yeah.
So if it's over the uprights, I feel like that's something that you should review, because that's a harder look to see if it went in. But
I think that they should put some type of
lasers
cone or something. I think how they have the orange cones at the bottom or in the corners of the end zone. I think they should put one directly under the field goals and have a camera pointing up. So
Well, I
then you
was
can
gonna say a
see,
chip and a ball, lasers, like not like actual lasers, but like you know how we have like the in the NFL they have like the little just like different stuff to see if like stuff was in bounds. I think you should
yeah,
put a chip in a ball, have lasers, and see if it went in or not. I mean, I don't know what we should have done. I don't think it was that hard of a look to be able to see if it went in though, because
no. I
like I
thought I thought live, watching it live, I was like, yeah, and then they said no, and I was like,
even in commentators were like, and
what?
it's no good. Like I was
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I mean, I was distraught after that. I mean, that's the worst way to lose. But at the end of the day, like I told the
yeah,
fellas in the locker room, I was like, it sucks. Is it right? No, it's not right at all. But that's what happens when you put the game in the hands of
yeah.
the refs.
Yeah, don't put the game in the hands of the refs, and you
So
avoid
that's
all
on
that.
us, you know. So
Let's point out couple of things. One thing very good. EG has now surpassed DeMarco Murray. And what was it? Yards on the season or total yards or
probably total yards
I think it
on
was
the
total
season.
yard. Yeah.
He was the fastest to reach 1,100, fastest to reach 1,100 yards or something like that. And
Yeah.
then he's moved up on the boards of all-time rushers. So he's had a really great season, a historic season, and I'm happy for him. It couldn't have happened to a better guy, and a better leader. So
Yeah. I'm proud of him. Happy for him. I wish it's from his point of view, I wish he could have done it during a better season because then it would have just made everything better for him personally.
yeah.
And I know you'd want the same, but happy for EG. Let's talk about you for a second. You went through some adversity this past game.
Right.
A lot of people didn't know that, live. Can you talk about what all you had to face just to even get through the game?
Yeah, so it was a domino effect from the Bedlam game. The hurdle, when I came down, a lot of people didn't know when I came down, I was pushed after the hurdle and I came down on my heel and it left a bruise, contusion in my heel. Excuse me. And I played the rest of the game and throughout the week, it had got more tender on Monday. So, we just kept a close eye on it and, they monitored my practice reps and just tried to do everything we could to still give me reps, but also like limit me a little bit. And I think we did a good job of managing it throughout the week. But, also when you have something like that on your foot, you like anything lower body, you tend to start favoring. And when you start to favor stuff, it's like a domino effect in your leg, right? So other stuff start to get affected.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was, putting more pressure on the ball of my foot and, trying to always be on my tiptoes all the time. And so, throughout the week, it didn't really have an effect on me. But then when we got to Saturday, I felt, great. Like I felt like my heel wasn't hurting. I wasn't like moving gingerly. I was moving pretty well.
All right.
And we got to the game and we got to pregame and I always do my own little pregame routine before we go out for pregame. So a pregame before the pregame. And during that I stretch and Coach Finley comes out and we do a little catching routine. I do about 20 catches straight up, 20 catches to the left, 20 catches to the right. And then we do both sides, left and right, 3 like seam balls and then 3 jump balls. And
through all that.
yeah, so I was doing all that and I was moving well. And then on like the last one, I go to accelerate and I felt something pop. And I was like, oh, I caught the ball, but I immediately stopped, right? And I was like, oh, that kind of hurt, And it was it wasn't my heel, it was right under my heel, or like right before my heel, like the start of it. And I was like, oh, that was weird. And Joe John immediately could tell something happened because the way I stopped. And he was like, you're right. And I was like, yeah. I was like, something popped, but you know what I'm saying? I'm all right. So he was like, let's just walk. So we went and we walked, and he was asking if it felt better, and I told him it was starting to feel a little bit better. I go inside. I told the trainers what happened. They decided that the best plan of action was to give me some, some medicine, some ibuprofen, some Tylenol, whatever, a combination of the two. And they tried to give me the highest dosage possible so that I could play. And I started to feel a little bit better, and then we get dressed. We go out for regular pregame, and I go out to pregame. I'm a little ginger on it, but like moving gingerly on it, but it wasn't too bad. We go through our regular warm up and stretches and stuff, and I'm feeling all right. So I'm like, okay, it's just I'm just trying to get in my mind, like, yeah, like mind over matter type deal. I'm like, I'm good. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's anybody that's gonna out tough it, it's gonna be me.
Right.
So I'm cool. We start warming up, and then we do like kind of a routes on air type thing. You remember the pat and go that we used to do?
Mm-hmm.
So we do one set of pat and go, and it's just like the vertical that we used to do, the seam.
Oh, that's love.
Yeah, so we just do it.
Drenched in sweat after pat and go.
Yeah, we just do it once, and then we do routes on air. So It's like routes on air that we used to do. And so I did that, and I took off on the seam, and I tried to accelerate again. And as soon as I lifted off that foot, pop, another one. That one hurt. And so I'm like, man. So, I kind of, slowly come to a stop, and I go over to one of our trainers, and I'm like, hey, where's our head trainers, Dane and Jeff? I couldn't call them. So she, called them on the mic, and I was waiting there, and the offense had already moved down the field. They were doing other routes on air, and it was taking forever. So, me, again, I'm just like, I'm just going to out tough it, whatever. I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. So I walked away from her. I went down the field. I walked down the field because I didn't want to stress it. And then I went, and they're like, you all right? And I'm like, I'm cool. Like, don't worry about me. I'm good. And I go and I run a stop route, and taking off feels a little weird, but it was okay.
So it just kept getting worse.
Ball, and then I tried to, get upfield. And then there's 4 pops. Pop, 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 pop.
Ooh.
And then that one hurt, and I was like, I threw the ball, and I went over to the trainers, and I was like, it's just popped like 7 times, and I'm like, it hurts, and I'm like, we got to do something about this. We go over to the bench, and that's when a lot of reporters saw that, and they saw them take my shoe off, and saw, I guess nothing can be hid these days, so that was all over Twitter. And so they examined it, and they're telling me all these taping options that we can go through to kind of, limit the movement in it. And
you're like,
they're like, and I was like, I was down for it. And then they're also like, we'll shoot you up. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, let's do it. So we go back in the locker room early, and they go shoot me up, and they numb it, and then they tape like my whole foot. Right. They put a patch, then they put like a arch support strip, and then they taped those 2 up, and then they taped the whole foot up, and so my foot was just like a tape block.
You
like,
can barely tie your shoe at this point.
It was nothing but tape, bro. It was nothing but tape. Like, my whole foot was covered. You know how like mummies are? Like, that's how my foot was. It was covered in tape. And so and I already had a heel cup in there for my, for the heel support. So like that shoe was tight, and good thing I already wear bigger cleats, during games. So I go out there, and, they start moving it around, and then they take me up, and I get the shoe on, and this is during pregame. I come back out, and everybody's asking me, I'm good. I'm like, y'all don't worry about me. I'm going to be straight. Like, y'all worry about y'all, about getting this dub. We go out there, and I don't feel it no more. And I'm like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's ball. I just numbed up. I couldn't feel a thing. And, I was like, all right, let's do this thing. We go out
that
there.
That shot going to take care of you.
Yeah, I started feeling it later. I started feeling it third, fourth quarter, but I was like, they're not going to take me off this field.
Mm-hmm.
And, tried to finish the game. Adrenaline was pumping after the game. I was I was mad. I ain't gonna lie. I was heated after the game.
I can imagine.
So I couldn't really feel it. But after that anger had came down and coach was talking to us, I had to lean on Carson Rose because that pain just shot through. And I was
Start
like,
getting lightheaded.
Yeah, I was like, yo. And I couldn't even put pressure on it. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been getting it
How'd you
looked
feel when
at.
you woke up Sunday?
Oh boy. It was so much worse.
Yeah.
So unbeknownst to me, during that day or during that night, the numbing medicine was still kind of doing its job. It was starting to come back. It was starting to hurt a little bit, but like I didn't know. I was like, oh man, it's starting to hurt, right? And I was like, it's okay. You know, it's not like unbearable. When I woke up the next morning, though, that's when all the numbing numbing stuff was out of there, right?
Yeah.
So it was just straight up like, they're like, yeah. And I said this, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna hurt in the morning. And they said it too. And boy, that next morning was not fun. I could not walk at all.
I remember last year I sprained my AC joint when we played West V, and didn't know if I was gonna be able to even play the rest of the season. But boy, they put that shot in you. You know, I was wearing a blue jersey every practice, but they put that shot in you, boy.
Can't
you
feel
on
nothing.
cloud nine.
Yeah, you can't feel nothing. So
you can't feel a thing.
Yeah, nothing.
But
yeah, it was nice like nothing was wrong.
I couldn't tell, bro. You were going all night with the linebackers. I felt like you were doing a good job. I do recall a two series sequence when you got him, and then he got mad, and then he got on top of you, and y'all sitting there talking smack, and then next play he came down and it was counter, pop, pop, boom, and you missed him, and you went on to the next dude, and he made the tackle, and then I was just like, oh, this is getting good.
Yeah, that one I had pancaked him, and you know how like when you pancake people and you sometimes roll over and they roll over on top of you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, and then he's like trying to hold me down. And I was like, this is some of the weakest.
The announcer said that.
People do that. And I was like, bro, I just put you on your tail and now you want to be the tough guy.
Yeah.
And so then next play, we came and there was a big collision in the hole. And really on that, it ain't nothing but to just, have a collision. And he just happened to bounce over, to the side that EG, decided to run through, probably the open lane, right? And, he made the play. But, yeah, I gave him some, though. And then I decleated the D lineman that was running.
Yeah.
Like half a second later. So that was fun. But,
yeah, the announcers acknowledged you
on that play.
You did get your public acknowledgement. They were like, B. Willie pancakes a dude. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, so but yeah, I was doing heads up with the linebackers all game. That was, one of our.
I felt like you did a good job, especially in the run game.
Yeah. I was putting that hat on them. One of our best runs that the game that we just ran over and over was just a tight end insertion play. So I was just inserting for the backside linebacker, and that's just a mano y mano. You better bring your stuff. Who's gonna bring it? Yeah. Who's gonna bring that hat? And so, it's just like I'm gonna move you out the way, or you gonna move me out the way. It ain't no form. It ain't no, but like for people, like we're all about like when we're blocking defensive ends on inside zones or outside zones or down blocks and stuff. It's all form and it's steps and it's hands tight. Sorry, hopefully the mic caught that, but hands tight and punch and head leverage, all that different stuff, base and your leverage, but not in them blocks. When it's insertion, linebackers come down here, you're coming across. It's just like you better bring that shoulder and that hat.
Bring that shoulder.
And that's I've gone on record to say this before, but sometimes I felt like it could have been a defensive player, and that's what I love about being tight end is because sometimes you do get to hit people because that's not a block where you just fit up. That's just I'm just hitting you, you hitting me. Let's see who got the the bigger pop. So But yeah, I was trying to, spring EG free, and a lot of those runs he did spring free. He had a great game. So he has great patience, and he does a good job running, man. So
Yeah. Well, I wish the Sooners could have brought that one out. We end the season at 500. What, 6-6?
6-6.
6-6 on the year. Got to figure out what bowl game we're in, and go from there. So, B. Willie, you got one more. We won't make it any more, I guess, sad or emotional than it needs to be. We'll talk about that somewhere later. But wrapping up, I did want to touch on our picks from last week in terms of the upsets.
Mm-hmm.
Beamer. Beamer and the boys. Man.
Yes, sir.
I'm so proud of them.
Sir. Very proud, man. Proud of Spencer. Proud of all them guys, man. They did their thing. Hard fought game. I know in a press conference, was it last week? They're like, "What'd y'all do? Just dropped our nuts." And they said it again, and I was like, "Yeah, hey, that's the best adjustment there is."
Yeah, just drop your
that's the best adjustment there is. It's very funny. So usually we don't say stuff like that on the pod, but excuse us. But it's funny how much stuff is said on the football field that y'all have no clue. Y'all don't even have the slightest imagination what goes on the football field. It's hilarious. I love it though.
We were definitely wrong about Carolina versus NC State, Chapel Hill versus NC State. I didn't think that I should have known better too, because I know some guys that play for NC State, and I messed up. That was an easy one I could have picked up on.
I did say it. I didn't know though. I was dang it.
Did we say A&M and LSU?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. I wouldn't have picked that one. I can't remember.
Mississippi State over Ole Miss. We didn't pick that one, but that was a good upset.
Yeah, that was a good game. Auburn did not come through for me on Bama.
Who did I say?
Who did you say?
I said Kentucky over Louisville, and I was right.
You did say that. I did not catch that.
Kentucky over Louisville. Yes, sir.
I'm kind of disappointed in Oregon. I thought they were going to slide into the college football playoffs over USC, but I'm still waiting on TCU to drop one at some point. But they just keep on keeping on.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's a good team.
Yeah. Hey.
Out of all the teams that we played this year, by far the best players, best scheme. That's a good team.
I'm a believer.
And I think if situations that happen in a game and we played our best ball, I definitely think the game is different. But that's a good team. It's a very good team. So I don't think they're going to drop one. They play Kansas State in the Big 12 championship, and I don't know, bro. I don't think they're going to drop one. I think they're going.
Yeah. Purple on purple down there in Dallas. Probably going to be the lamest Big 12 championship ever. But it is what it is. I sound like such a hater. Anyways,
they didn't want us in there anyways.
Yeah, no, the Big 12 commissioner is smiling ear to ear right now. I promise you that. Oklahoma or Texas not in that thing.
Yeah, they're extremely happy with that one.
I bet they are. Sooner Nation, this is all we have for you guys on this episode of the podcast. Appreciate you rolling with us this year. This will be our last week of having 2 episodes. We'll do one more Thursday and then one weekly till the end of the year. And then we'll wrap things up for a little bit, go on break, and keep on keeping on with us, and we'll keep you updated. All right, Braden, you got anything left for the people?
Yeah, just like I say every time, but the regular season has ended, so thank you for all the support and love. And I mean, people, we have some of the best traveling fans ever. They travel to the games, and it's been a rough season, but the support has been unbelievable. So, I mean, I'll forever love y'all and appreciate y'all for that. So, thank you, Sooner Nation.
All right, y'all.
Deuces.